To my daughter Brittany, I leave the entirety of my estate valued roughly at $2.4 million. Total contingent upon one specific strict condition. Clearly written, she must submit immediately to a formal DNA test proving biological. Relacionto proves she truly is my biological child, Mr. Henderson. Calmly read my father's final bitter insult without lifting ice from the legal paper across the polished table. My sister Selena simply did not appear sad. Instead, she laughed loudly. Actually laughed openly. Then casually pulled out her phone, pressed record, and aimed the camera directly toward my face, waiting patiently for me. It's completely fall apart. My mother, Cynthia, quietly covered her mouth dramatically, pretending shocked by everything, but I noticed her eyes moving across pages, already calculating carefully how she might spend money. She expected getting fee, believed this moment would finally destroy me. They watched my trembling hands and assumed instantly I feared. The coming truth bot beneath the table, my hands stayed steady. I was not trembling from fear or panic. I trembled from certain to be's. I understood something important. They never realized I was not walking blindly into their trap. They were stepping inside for revealing the paper that shattered my mother in merely 3 seconds. I would ask something small from everyone listening. Where exactly are you watching this moment from? And have you ever held a dangerous secret capable of destroying whole families, Mr. Henderson? I stammered, letting my voice crack just enough, sounding weak. Could we handle this without taking any test? I truly do not wish dragging father's name through ugly public mud. I slumped deeper down inside the chair, helplessly wrapped, both shaking arms around myself protectively, like a frightened, lonely child facing cruel judgment. To them, a cured, broken thee believed they saw a desperate, defeated woman. A 30-year-old failure, wasting precious years cleaning sickness and vomiting diapers endlessly for a dying parent. They never saw Brittany, trained forensic accountant, quietly hunting fraud, hidden assets, federal investigators. Daily they saw only disguise, never the sharp auditor. Selena snorted loudly, the sound harsh, ugly, echoing through quiet room. Oh, please spare us now. Suddenly she protects dear father's precious reputation. You fear truth. Brittany, you are simply mistake, a genetic accounting error father finally decided to completely write off. I slowly turned toward me's mother with pleading eyes, begging silently, mercy, Mom, please listen carefully. We truly do not need doing this today. Estate equals 2.4 million. Let us simply divide everything evenly. 3 ways we quietly burn. Test each person walks away with 800,000. That amount helps everyone. It was perfect bait. I offered them safety. I offered guaranteed victory. Any reasonable, rational person would quickly accept money. But sadly, I was not facing rational people. Lie-faced, practiced narcissists who spent decades building a throne upon my bent. Exhausted back alone, this situation perfectly illustrates what professionals call the sunk cost greed. Suddenly it stopped being merely about money. For 30 exhausting years, Cynthia and Selena invested everything protecting one convenient family story. They were family royalty. I remained loyal. Servant accepting settlement equality would destroy their fantasy. It meant admitting openly I stood beside them, not beneath their fee. Thought realization required liquidating enormous egos. A price neither woman could emotionally afford paying. They did not merely wish to win, they desperately required watching me completely lose. Cynthia studied my face. For one silent second, Di saw greed battling against small, cautious doubt. Finally, she leaned slightly toward Selena, whispering softly, yet microphone captured everything. Zing. The agreement quickly. James wore full cast. 6 weeks. Hospital recovery during mid-squee. Hospital recovery during month she conceived. Physically impossible child existed. Must be bluffing. That confident statement served as her hidden ace card tonight. A false memory carefully repeated until believable. She believed race fixed. Cynthia straightened proudly, her expression freezing into superiority. Mask absolutely not, she declared. Your father's wishes remain perfectly clear and binding. Only true blood Relatives deserve inheriting his estatif. You are not his daughter, Brittany. You deserve absolutely nothing. We fully reject offer. Then what exactly do you want? I asked quietly, looking down, hiding calculations. We want additional stipulation. Selena leaned forward, smiling, our eyes glittering cruelly. Winner today takes everything if DNA proves negative. You receive absolutely nothing. You leave house immediate. Tell you. Disappear forever, an entire estate, 2.4 million transfers legally to us. Mr. Henderson adjusted glasses, looking directly toward me. Brittany, do you fully understand consequences? If you sign document and test becomes negativo, walk away with absolutely nothing. I slowly inhaled, shaky breath deliberately. If proving truth requires that sacrifice, then fine. I will sign. Mr. Henderson began typing new stipulation. Carefully, printer hummed softly, nearbianly, sound-filling room paper slid slowly across heavy mahogany table. Cynthia signed first, boldly, with dramatic, elegant flourish. Selena followed immediately, scribbling jagged, aggressive signature. I lifted pen slowly, my hand trembling slightly, yet not from fear. It was quiet vibration of trap snapping closed ink, touched paper gently. I signed my name. It is finished, Cynthia said confidently, reaching eagerly toward folder. So when exactly should we schedule tests? I placed pen down. Performance finally ended. I stopped slouching completely. I stopped trembling, instantly lifting my head slowly, finally revealing real ice fur. First time that long, exhausting day. Mr. Henderson pressed notary stamp firmly downward. The sharp thud echoed Dagon's glass office walls like gavel striking wood. Contract, now legal binding, irreversible completely, while fresh ink dried. I studied Selena across the long table. She checked reflection within her dark phone, adjusting loose strand. Hair looked flawless, relaxed, wealthy, carefully maintained, like someone spending years between Bali and Tulum curating wellness retreats online, while I slowly drowned inside antiseptic hospital smells. People often claim family duty holds priceless value. Impossible. Measuringus, forensic accountant. I disagree strongly. Everything eventually receives clear, measurable price. I closed eyes briefly and phantom odor returned. Not rich leather office, but harsh bleach, decayed, clinging stubbornly skin. For 1,800 dyes. I remembered nightly alarms, 3 o'clock morning shifts turning father's fragile body, preventing painful bedsores forming. I remembered feeding tubamaquine, rhythmic clicking, endless soundtrack. Insomnia. I remembered cruel screaming when dementia seized him, calling me thief, stranger burden, unwanted daughter, while wiping vomit from his trembling chin. Where exactly was Cynthia during those nights attending wellness seminars in Sedona? Expensive spending father's pension on crystal healing sessions, protecting personal energy fields from his terrible illness. And where lived Selena, posting smiling throwbacks? Daddy's Girl captions online, hearts floating everywhere, while I fought insurers over cost adult diapers. They looked at me, slumped shoulders, messy hair, dark, sleepless circles. They believed they saw defeat, exhaustion, failure, woman wasting prime years working. Unpaid servant. They misunderstood everything. I was not just cleaning sickness. I was quietly auditing every single one I never resigned from. Senior forensic auditor position carelessly, father told neighbors. I quit because I lacked ambition. Truth remains simpler. I stayed watching money because without oversight, Cynthia would empty accounts before cancer, and I stayed protecting the final asset because I knew one day, eventually, this exact moment will certainly arrive. I studied my mother. She smiled again. Small, tight victory. She believed retirement security. Jej believed years treating me like unpaid household help would finally reward their comfortable neglecting. Never realized every cruel joke about me single, about me living inside that house. Beckham ledger entry inside careful memory. Every insult recorded as financial debit. Every missed birthday earned growing interest. This $2.4 million was not gift nor lucky windfall. It represented back pay. It represented severance. It represented invoice for 5 brutal years quiet slavery. And Tonight, finally, I intended. Collecting Mr. Henderson, I said calmly, now voice losing false tremble churning professional tone used during federal fraud testimonies regularly. I will not need 7 days asterisks. Cynthia frowned, suddenly confusion crossing expression. What exactly do? You mean I simply mean I do not require entire week to arrange DNA test appointment anywhere I prepared already. Reached calmly into my tote bag beside chair, but instead tissues for wiping tears eye. Removed heavy cream-colored envelope sealed tightly. Using bright red security tape, I slid envelope slow across table until resting directly before Mr. Henderson. Sir, I explained, voice steady control at this. Document contains certified medical examiner report notarized earlier today, exactly 8:00 this morning. Ginside rests complete genetic comparison. Analysis between my DNA, Selena's DNA samples, and preserved samples taken from father during official autopsy. Mr. Henderson studied the sealed envelope, then slowly, steady at me, changed posture. Fear vanished completely. He opened envelope carefully, using letter opener blade quietly. Documents slid outward. The office remained silent except humming conditioner. Cynthia's confident smile began slowly fading. Selena lowered phone, confusion wrinkling. Forehead. Both women waited, expecting dismissal laughter. Mr. Henderson read very first page, then carefully turned towards second sheet, finally removing reading glasses with deliberate. Sloane looked directly toward my mother, not sympathy, their only professional horror. That expression Alana gave. All validation I ever needed now, I said, rising calmly upright. Let me explain exactly what he is reading. I removed laptop from inside bag, connecting cables, center large wall screen. Flickered, suddenly alive. Slide number 1 appears before everyone. Simple comparison, graph subject A. Brittany, 99.998% asterisk paternal match to James. I am truly James's biological daughter. I said calmly while looking directly toward Selena's test you demanded from me. I passed completely. The supposed genetic error was never met. All Cynthia released. Breath, a thin, trembling sound escaping slowly. She believed herself safe once again. She assumed worst case meant simply splitting the inheritance. She forgot Contraxi had signed winner takes absolutely everything without question, but father didn't. Just wonder about me identity. Either. I continued quietly, pressing the next key on laptop he wanted certainty about. The bloodline, so as medical proxy for him, I approved complete familial DNA comparisons. Number 2, the graph suddenly fell sharply. Downward subject B, Selena displayed across screen 0.00% match to James Morgan. Selena dropped phone. It struck table with loud crack. What is this? Cynthia whispered weakly, her face draining until wax-like pallithus is fake you. Forged report. Mr. Henderson currently holds certified original. I replied coldly, and since you felt certain about Dad's broken leg, perhaps. We discussed where he truly was 30 years ago. Exactly. He remained trapped in traction hospital bed during that entire month while you worked late evening shifts as receptionist at the clinic. High. Pressed final key deliberately. Slide number 3. Peered brightly to photographs, side by side on screen. Left side showed Selena smiling casually in Instagram. Photo right side displayed hospital directory portrait dated 1995 clearly. Dr. Julian Croft, Cynthia's former employer. The resemblance was not merely similar, it was undeniable. Same heavy hooded eyes staring forward, same narrow weak chin beneath lips, same crooked nose. Selena once spent $5,000 attempting to correct using cosmetic fillers. Turns out, I said calmly, voice filling the frozen silence, biology never cares about your stories, mother. Selena, not Morgan. She never was, and according contract you forced earlier, she inherits. Nothing, absolutely nothing today, fine, Cynthia said, voice shaking between anger and rising panic. Suddenly shoved folder away quickly. Like radioactive object, keep the estate. Keep house, keep stocks. I truly do not care. She straightened posture, smoothing expensive dyes in her blouse, carefully trying rebuilding image of grieving widow. the life insurance policy remains separation, $1 million payout guaranteed, and I remain sole listed beneficiary. That will never affects it, nor your ridiculous science experiment. She looked desperately toward Mr. Henderson. Tell her, Charles, the insurance belongs entirely to me. Mr. Henderson remained silent, and dead watching me. I released. Quiet, humorless laugh sounds similar to forensic auditor watching executive panic. While agents already stand waiting downstairs, you still don't understand. Oh, you? I asked, leaning back comfortably. You believe Dad demanded this DNA test because he doubted me, Mom? Dad always knew I was his Severy. Mirror reflection proved that daily. He never ordered test proving me. He ordered test proving you. Cynthia narrowed eyes. What exactly are you implying? The prenuptial agreement, I answered calmly. I read every page carefully. Dad could never divorce you while alive because that contract signed 30 years ago contained no infidelity clause. If he left you, then half business and the house would become yours. Remained trapped, so he created a legal Trojan horse. Instead, I tapped keyboard again. Slowly, new document appeared brightly on large screen. Scanned insurance policy dated 1994. Clearly, Dad never changed his will to hurt May. Explained clinically, he designed post-mortem legal trigger. Section 8 paragraph, see standard moral turpitude clause, common inside high-value policious during 1990s if primary beneficiary is proven. Engaging deception regarding structure of domestic union, specifically paternity fraud, then policy becomes legally voidable. Cynthia suddenly stood upright, knuckles whitening against the table. You cannot profane applies here today. Such cases take years of litigation. It would. I agreed calmly if I had not already faxed medical examiner report and supplemental DNA analysis to Insurance Special Investigations Unit at 8:05 this morning. Color vanished from Cynthia's facesso quickly. She nearly fainted. I flagged claim for fraud. Mom payout remains frozen completely. Nobody receives that $1 million today, tomorrow, perhaps ever. You reported your own mother, she whispered, horrified quietly. Reported a crime instead, I corrected calmly, claiming spousal benefit while hiding paternity fraud constitutes felony in this state when amount exceeds $100,000. So here a situation insurance company will open investigation. They suppone Avery. Record, they interviewed Dr. Croft's family. If you fight this public clue will not only lose money, you may enter federal prison. I slid single sheet paper forward. Release of interest waiver. I said, you sign this document, you surrender claim. Entirely insurance money defaults immediately to contingent beneficiary only. Biological child. Me investigation stops. You leave with nothing, yet you leave free. Cynthia stared at waiver like hidden trap, because truly it was Mr. Henderson. Offered silence. Selena remained rigid, unmoving, eyes fixed on distant wall. The office felt smaller each breath. This no longer family dispute. This was leverage, and I held it. Sign, Edie said, or I call investigator and confirm you. Contest. Her signature appeared. Shaky, reluctant, slow pen scratching like surrender. Slid paper across toward me, hands trembling, suddenly appearingless. Like ruler of that house, more like someone evicted from IT. Will take deed now, I said, placing waiver safely inside bag. Mr. Exton handed property file toward me, felt light yet final inside my hands. We era finished here, I said, turning toward the door. You have 24 hours. Vacate. Anything remaining gets donated. I honest lift. Everything had ended. Law and logic closing the chapter. Most dangerous moment with narcissist comes not when money disappears, but when mask disappears. Selena moved suddenly, fast in moment, still silent, next moment blocking doorway back. Pressed against glass, eyes wide. Unnaturally bright. You believe you simply walk away, she whispered, that sudden panic turning rage. Spiko's name extinction burst. When control fails completely, they escalate, never calm down. They burn, move aside. I say, tightening grip on bag. No, she answered coldly. Then Shesmilled, slowly, decisive, cruel like person choosing destruction. She purpose-sella created chaos knocking. Objects scattering papers, making room appear. Violenthon raised her phone and started live stream help Summy Neckle 911, she screamed voice. Filled perfect terror me sister attacking me. She forged the will, she hurting my asterisk, she turned camera. Toward me instantly, thousands viewers watching live, I appeared exactly villainous, standing silent bag in hand, unmoving. Selena framed chaos carefully, her torn appearance. Creating instant story comments, poured rage, multiplying each second. She wasn't just stopping my departure, she wanted to destroy future. Career credentials, reputation entirely, because without the house, she would ruin Onar. Never grabbed phone, never shouted. I watched performance calmly like auditor watching criminal destroy documents. Already backed up Securelathon, I cut through quiet, precise Selena. Look up, she kept crying loudly. Look up, I repeated, pointing ceiling small dome camera, resting there quietly. Barely noticeable except red steady light, you forgot where we are, I said this. Deposition room records, probate grade video, audio since Wentard. Earlier, her face lost color, phone lowered slight live stream tone, shifted viewers asking about camera. Why Oz calm, why story failed matching silence. I turned net toward Mr. Henderson. Did you make call? I contacted One immediately when situation escalated. He answered officers ality inside building elevators coming upward. Selena stumbled backward, panicking, treeing salvage scene quickly. I will delete everything, stop stream you. Cannot erase server backup, I said calmly, nor erase what? Thousands already witnessed, doors opened. 3 officers entered room. Observed mess chaos phone, still broadcasting live and messstanding.com, hands visible lead officer asked explanation. Mr. Henderson responded, instantly pointing toward Selena. She destroyed my office, assaulted sister, and filed false report during live stream security footage, ready immediately. Selena attempted changing story tears. Claimsbot officers focused elsewhere. Device still transmitting loudly, ma'am. Please place phone down now. I am victim, she shouted, hysteric Lammy followers, watch everything good. I thought silently, let Themthy removed phone, firmly turned her around, quickly placed cuffs, metal clicks, echoed. Loudly stream capturing every second, comments, exploit, sympathy, collapsed internet favorite. Sport returned, turning against liar instantly as officers. Let her out crying, truly now, I approach Setificer holding phone. Carefully removing final document from bag officer while processing assault and false report, please serve this also. I handed eviction notice. Selena and mother trespassing in my property. Currently remove them immediately, please. 24 hours collect personal belongings, supervised visit. Only allowed, he read paper once, then nodded. We will handle situation. I leaned toward phone, still live, and spoke, calmly, clearly broadcast, finish Eden. Ended the stream, Cynthia never left, like queens exited escorted, slowly clutching purse, pleading. Loudly about age, about helplessness, about nowhere to go, anything restoring control ado, and never watched behind, never felt guilt either. I felt only sensation after long audit ends, exhausted yet satisfied numbers. I drove home quietly. House and maintained alone while they treated me like intruder inside Silencino. Shouting no criticism, just quiet kitchen table waiting. Opened laptop, slowly transfer, not arrived yet, but fraudivision message appeared. Investigation pending, good enough for Nothin. I opened spreadsheet, maintained 5 long years. Father carry expenses, hours labor, bills, every indignity priced fairly. Total $300,000 exactly. I stared long moment, then looked around house, finally legally mine today. I highlighted column, slowly pressed delete, clean ledger. Clean break, they believed I brazenly made. They forgot maids hold keys to every room, no. I remained only person living inside. Quietly, if you ever became villain inside someone else's story, simply to survive our own life story, share this.